Hi, welcome back to Divine Energies. My name's Heidi. Today I want to talk with you all about my own personal journey to spiritual enlightenment, my own awakening. I'm going to touch briefly on the past just to kind of give you an idea of how I discovered who I am again. So I grew up in a small town. I think I always felt like I didn't belong in my family. I felt like I didn't belong here, that I needed to always be somewhere else. I had been exposed to numerous types of abuse at a young age, and those some of my earliest memories. I remember escaping all of that to create in nature. And, these things that I'm going to say, I didn't connect them all until now, recently. But so I would go out into the woods, I would take dolls, Barbies, and I would make furniture out of the rocks, bark, leaves, those types of things. And I remember doing this, I'm talking up until I was like 13 years old. So I got laughed at, I got kind of made fun of. I can remember singing and being silly, and that also kind of being looked down upon, or I got made fun of, laughed at for it. So I just kind of grew up feeling like everything that I did to express myself seemed to be wrong to someone. So when I was about 13 years old, because of the ridicule that I had gone through at such a young age, I decided to put all of that behind me and fully immerse myself into this reality and basically do what was expected of me. And I'm sure it wasn't what anyone expected, because I ended up at 14, the first relationship I was ever in. I ended up getting married really young, having my first child when I was 16. But I did complete high school. I went to nursing school, the dream that I always had to help people. So I did that, and throughout my life, I went through other experiences. And growing up in the Christianity type church was a lot of focus in my life. I really dove deep into that. I put a lot of faith in that. And then I know after I graduated college and started working and seeing what other people's lives were like, I really started to shame myself, hate myself, realize that how unhappy I was. And I turned my back on God because I felt that God had turned his back on me. So throughout my awakening, which started probably in 2012 at first, when I had been going through a lot of mental health issues at the time, ended up admitting myself to a psychiatric ward because of the way things that I was thinking and believing. I had paranoia, lots of things around aliens, abductions, things like that. It was just, I believe that it stopped then, when my enlightenment had begun, because I fought against it. And I started taking lots of pharmaceutical drugs. And from then on, I got sicker and sicker. Then in 2016, I was diagnosed with a condition in my heart that had been caused by a misdiagnosis by my family doctor. It caused me to be unable to work anymore as a nurse, which was my complete and total identity. That's who I thought I was. So I'm going to stop right here and say that I think that for me personally, my journey has mainly been about finding out who I really am, remembering who I really am, and also who I am not. And who I was not was all of those things that, like the being a nurse and how I identified with that made me who I was. So when that was taken and stripped away from me by God, because I believe that's what happened, to show me that I had a bigger purpose, that I am love, that I am light, I was shown through visions, through meditations, that I was here to help anchor light into this dark place. So when I became aware of all of this, after spirit came within my soul, in my body, and let me feel that for a while, and that left me with so many questions, trying to figure out what do I do next. And it put me into a deep research mode, where the first thing I did was I wanted to make sense of this reality that's around me. I dove deep into the things of this reality, like the government corruption, everything bad, all the things that they're doing to us as humans on this planet. I dove into that, and it caused me to be extremely depressed. And I had this longing to just get out of this place for so long. And then finally, as I started researching and making sense of religion and realizing that all the religions were correct in their own way, and that all religion was here just to cause division and confusion, I found one particular video. It was called Secret Teachings of the Bible, just things that were hidden from us. And that video in itself, the things that it taught me was how we have to, and this comes directly from the Christian Bible, it was just left out, how you have to tie the feeling in your heart with what you want, those things that you think in your mind that you really want, like happiness, peace, joy, love, abundance in every way. That has to be tied with, you have to feel it in your heart, and you tie that thought with that feeling in your heart, and that's where we manifest from. And that was the most important thing that helped me throughout all of this. And then I felt like I was in a literal battle for my soul to be good, to stay positive, to do good. And then as I learned more and more and started connecting directly with spirit, as I changed, I seen the outside world begin to change around me. I saw that there were a lot of people in my life that I had there that were unhealthy relationships, things that I was doing that were not good. And I dove into another deep depression, and a realization that I created all of this misery for myself. And just learning to come up out of that by learning the power of the law of attraction, learning all of these things, and it led me to use alternative therapies to heal my body. I was on 17 pharmaceutical medications. And after I lost my position at the hospital, and then I didn't qualify for Medicaid after about a year, and I'd had absolutely no health insurance coverage, and I was seeing 3 specialists and my PCP. I couldn't breathe when I walked. I couldn't stand on my feet without pain. I couldn't bathe myself. And I feel like God took me to that pit just so that I would realize there's another way. And they helped me to heal myself alternatively, and I'm proud to say that I'm not on any of those things anymore. My mind is no longer controlled by the pharmaceutical industry and by the doctors that I thought I needed. And I found that other way, and I feel better than I have in my entire life. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I just want everyone to understand that there is always hope. Out of any bottom that you come to, there is always a way out, and it is with our Creator. Our Creator has put all of the tools are inside of us. We have to go in deep. We have to realize who we are and why we're here, and it comes in different ways for all of us. And I just want to help spread the message that you can do it, that there is hope. You can heal yourself. I mean, I could go on and on about the medical conditions. I could go on and on about the feelings, outward appearances, all of that. But I just want everyone to take from my journey that there is hope, because I have felt so many times throughout my lifetime that there was none, and that this was over for me, that I just wanted to go home. And I'm proud to say that I'm the happiest that I've ever been. I'm not a wealthy person, but I have everything that I need. I have wonderful people in my life. And it all is from the decisions that we make, the decision that we take our health in our own hands, that we take our life in our own hands. We say no when we need to. We take care of ourselves. We love ourselves. We forgive ourselves for everything that we've gone through. We forgive others that have put us through whatever we think they've put us through. Although, it all comes down to that we're all the same, and we're all doing the best we can. I just wanted to put this video out. I'm sure there will be more to talk about in the future with my personal journey, but I just wanted to put this out and say, everyone, be so thankful for where you are right now. You're amazing. You're beautiful. I love you. Peace.